What's going on? I'm Joey with DKOldies. Today I'm joined by Jestin.
How you doing?
Today we're going to talk about some tips and tricks of the GameCube, one of my favorite consoles. I love the library of games. I love how the controller feels. There's a lot to love about the GameCube.
Love it. Now there are two different versions of the GameCube, right, Joey?
There are, and I can jump right into that for starters. This is the first model, and the difference back here I'm going to be showing off is how you hook it up to the television. First model just has the AV cable output.
Oh yeah, there are two outputs on this model, huh?
Now, that second port that you're seeing there is called the digital out port, and it uses a special cable. The thing is, this cable is so rare. I've been working here at the shop for years. I feel like I've only seen it 2 or 3 times, but it is a cable that when hooked up to the television through that port will give you slightly better picture and audio. But like I said, super hard to find.
That's pretty crazy. Now, another thing that's interesting about the GameCube that most people don't even know about because they don't think to flip the dang thing over, there are ports at the bottom of the GameCube, Joey. Look at that. Now, this version only has 2 ports, but this version has 3 ports. 1, 2, 3. Now,
we just found this out. Like, even though this model does have a cover that goes over this small area, when we took it off, we were surprised to see that there's no port there.
I had no idea. There's a port. Yeah, see this one right here doesn't exist on this version. Anyway, yeah, the first port is actually for internet access on the GameCube. Did you know you can access the internet on your GameCube? It's one of the coolest features. So you could buy these adapters. Now this one was for broadband internet and this one's for dial-up internet. You could just hook those up to your GameCube and you could play specific games. I think there's only 1 or 2 games you could play online, Joey.
I don't remember the full story. I think you mentioned Phantasy Star Online
That's
as
the one.
And I thought there were some other possible, like, was it Japanese titles? A Japanese version of Mario Kart was able to be played? I'm not 100% sure. If you know, let us know in the comments.
Very ahead of its time. Then you have the second port here. Now this was used, I forget what the device is called, Joey, but it was some kind of device used by video game developers and artists. What they could do, it allowed them to download character models and level designs from their game so they could test and just kind of walk their way through these different levels and stuff. And then you had this third port, which was used for this super cool device called the Game Boy Player, which would just hook up to the bottom of your GameCube. You'd throw the GameCube player disc inside of the GameCube and you could play your Game Boy Advance games on your freaking game.
That's probably my favorite feature.
It's so cool.
I like that as well. I saw something else that was interesting. The other day I was walking around the shop and saw one of these circle faceplates on the ground. All of a sudden I thought maybe there's a way to actually take it out, so I opened up the GameCube and it's only on one of the models. This model doesn't have any clips here that's holding it in, but sure enough on the second model, and it's the model with 2 ports. I'll show you how it works. 2 little clasps up inside this top area that when you pinch them together,
There it goes.
that faceplate pops right out. And I think this was originally designed because they were going to have different faceplates that you could put in. As far as I know, there's only the Pokemon XD faceplate that's any different, but I think it would have been a really cool feature if they had gone down that road.
I would love a Super Mario Sunshine faceplate, Joey. I love that game. Now, let's talk about the dimensions of the GameCube.
Oh, that's right.
It's not really a cube,
It's
right?
deceiving. It looks like a cube, kind of at first glance. But I got out the ruler the other day. Top is close enough, about a 1/4 inch difference, but the bottom, it's way shorter here than it is wide and stuff up here. So someone suggested, how about you try putting on the Game Boy player on the bottom? It still doesn't have true cube dimensions, but it's okay, GameCube, we still love you.
They lied to us, Joey. Now, it's really cool. This Animal Crossing game, turns out if you fire up the game, put the disc in the GameCube, and take the disc out, the game will still operate on its own, Joey?
Exactly.
How does that work?
I think it has something to do with the size of the game. Evidently, Animal Crossing is small enough that when you're playing it, it can fit into the memory of the GameCube, so you can actually take the disc out. I don't know how far you can actually go with it, how far you can play without the disc. I tried it myself, though. The game definitely at least continues playing.
Interesting. Now, something really cool about the controllers, sometimes you'll encounter this annoying drift where your character will be walking across the stage or the screen, but you're not pressing any buttons. Where's that coming from? Well, you can actually correct that annoying drift by pressing down X, Y, and the start button and holding them down for 3 seconds, and the controller will correct itself.
It also is helpful if you plug the controller in, and when you plugged it in, maybe your controller was upside down and the stick was ever so slightly moved to the side, it'll register that as the 0 point for the controller, and your character's just going to start constantly spinning. Rather than having to turn off the system, unplug the controller, that simple button combo can correct that.
Is that why that
as well.
happens? That's interesting. Now, one more thing. Right, the startup sound. So you know that startup jingle you play?
Sure do.
So iconic. Turns out there are actually 2 other versions of that jingle, and here's how you access them. The first one is so easy. You just plug one controller in and you hold down the purple Z button as the startup screen happens, and you'll get this like special kind of jingle. It's like a
Kids laughing? Is it the kids laughing?
Yeah, it's the kids laughing, like playtime kind of jingle. It's kind of unsettling and creepy.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
The other one's a little harder. You need a few friends and you need 4 controllers. Plug all 4 controllers into all 4 ports, and then all of your friends have to hold down the Z button at the same time, and you'll get this kind of like Asian, like tribal kind of, I don't know.
That's a really cool one. Is it doable with one person?
I've done it with one person.
You did? Okay.
But I got my hands
Try
dirty.
it. You can try it yourself. Okay, so like I said, tons of cool tips and tricks about the GameCube. It's an awesome system. Find GameCube games, accessories, consoles at our website, DKOldies.com. If you have any more tips and tricks that we missed about the console, please leave them in the comments. Take care, everybody.
Adios.